Have you ever thought about where a holy book actually comes from? I mean, not just the history, but the real nitty-gritty behind-the-scenes story. What if it started out like a startup pitch? Just picture it. The creator of the universe standing in a cosmic boardroom trying to sell a big idea to a very, very tough board of directors. So let's sneak in and listen to this pitch meeting. And boom! That's the line that kicks the whole thing off. We're dropping right into the main chamber of the Sky Council. The creators just called a meeting with his top brass, his LO team, and he drops this bombshell. The room, which is usually just kind of humming with light, suddenly gets a whole different energy.
So you gotta understand, this isn't just any old book idea. No, this is a universe-defining project. The creator wants to basically write down all his greatest hits. But as we're about to see, the board, they've got some serious questions about the product, the marketing, and, yeah, even the hiring plan.
All right, so let's get a feel for who's actually in the room. First, you've got the creator, obviously. He's the passionate CEO with this massive vision. Then there's Elfire, who's kind of like the practical CFO, always thinking about the budget and how to get things done. You've got Elwise, the deep thinker, asking all the tough ethical questions. And Elrose, who brings this really critical eye for fairness and, who gets included. This is the board he's got to win over. So the pitch starts with the creator's resume, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, he lays it out for the team, created universes, designed planets down to the last detail. But then he brings up let's say, a more controversial project. That one time he got real mad and just flooded the entire planet, wiped almost everything out. And he wants to make sure that story is in the book. And bam, right on cue, Elwise, the philosopher of the group, he jumps right in. This is the first big challenge. He's like, okay, I get it. You wanted a fresh start with some prototype souls, but what about the collateral damage? All the plants, the animals, why did they have to get wiped out in this great flood? It's a heavy question, and it just kind of hangs there in the air. The creator's response is, well, brutally honest. He says back then it was all about vengeance and a clean canvas. He even admits he does things differently now. He prefers, and this is his phrase, discriminatory selective judgment instead of just, wiping out the whole planet. It's a big shift in strategy, and he wants it all documented. Okay, now we get to the actual product he's pitching. And we're not talking about a little pamphlet or a short story here. No, the creator has a much bigger vision for this whole publishing venture. And this is where Elfire, our practical guy, steps in. He hears the huge scale of this project and immediately hits the brakes. He points out that, hey, books are handwritten, they're super expensive, they take forever to make. So his counteroffer is a little more down to earth. How about starting with a one-page flyer? It's a classic startup move, right? Let's get a minimum viable product out the door first. But the creator is absolutely not interested in an MVP. He literally stomps his foot, shakes the whole chamber, and lays out his non-negotiable vision. It's going to be a massive 66-book compilation. He's already got the cover picked out, embossed leather. He wants tiny print. It's going to be filled with stories of creation, warnings about rebel angels. He's even got the first line written and ready to go. And here it is. This is the most important feature. The creator makes it clear that this book will have the ultimate authority. Its power is going to be absolute. It's designed to override all human governments, all human laws. He explains that, sure, people can make their own rules, but they can never, ever outlaw the consequences of the cosmic laws that'll be in his text. This book is meant to be the final word. Full stop. All right, so now we're moving on to the HR portion of the pitch. The product's defined, so the big question is, who's going to actually write this thing? Well, the staffing plan turns out to be one of the most heated parts of the whole meeting. The creator lays out his hiring plan, 40 scribes, all of them men, who he'll make temporarily perfect just for this job. So when Elrose asks, why no women, the answer he gives has two parts. First, he says they're busy raising their children. And second, well, the second reason is much more serious, and it's rooted in some very ancient history. And there it is. That's the core reason. The creator states it plainly. Because a woman ate the forbidden fruit way back when, females can never be trusted again. It's a grudge that's described as being older than language itself, and it becomes the non-negotiable reason for excluding half of all people from this divine writing team. So, the team is chosen, the book's design is locked in. But how do you protect the integrity of a text that's this important?
This brings us to the final part of the pitch, a super high-stakes kind of spiritual terms and conditions.
See, the creator explains that the 66th book, the very last one, is special. It's not just history. It's packed with prophecies about the future and all these secret mystic messages. And because the content is so unique, it needs a unique and incredibly severe copyright protection to make sure nobody messes with it. And this protection plan is basically the most terrifying end-user license agreement ever. It's a two-parter. Part 1, if you add any words to this final book, you will literally suffer the plagues that are written inside it. Part 2, if you take any words out, you lose your share of all the good stuff, all the blessings promised in it. It's this powerful two-way lock on the text. Elfire, always the logical one, immediately spots what looks like a loophole. This threat is obviously super powerful, so why limit it? Why not just apply this scary warning to all 66 books and protect the whole collection? I mean, it's a great question, right? And the creator's answer is maybe the biggest shock of the entire meeting. After all this talk about floods and vengeance and how humans can't be trusted, he says that for the most part, he actually can trust humanity. He believes people will do a good job of keeping the basic messages straight in the first 65 books. It's only that final prophetic book that needs the divine copyright lock. So there we go. The board has heard the whole pitch. They've pushed back, they've asked their tough questions about the product, the team, the legal stuff. And even after some really intense moments, a decision is finally reached. And the project is greenlit. The vision is approved. 40 male scribes are about to get a pretty amazing job offer, and the most ambitious publishing project in the history of the universe is officially a go, complete with that ironclad warning on the final chapter. And all of this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've just walked through the creation of this sacred text like it was a product launch. So if a timeless, eternal text has a version 1.0 that was pitched in a boardroom, what does that mean for its future? Could there ever be updates or patches, or maybe even a version 2.0? Something to think about.